Greetings YouTube, JC, That Edit Pro with another video about audio, and this time around we're going to talk about the proper way to clean and demagnetize the heads in your tape recorder. Now before I go any further, I want to say something to my subscribers who are already tape heads and are sitting there saying, JC, why are you insulting my intelligence by doing a video about something so simple? Well, the reason is this. It has come to my attention that there is a lot of bad info floating around on the web about the proper way to clean and demagnetize heads in a tape recorder. After 30 years of playing around with tape recorders, 25 of those in radio using every conceivable format of professional analog tape that you can think of, I think I know how to keep heads clean, and I want to set the record straight. First off, let's look at a diagram of the head assembly in my TIAC AD500 machine. It's an auto reverse deck. So you'll notice that the heads are on a little rotating assembly in the middle. You have erase, you have record play. This machine has two capstans, two pinch rollers, and two guides on either side of the head stack. When you put a tape in the machine and you play the tape passes by all of this stuff. And it's going to leave behind a little bit of the oxide on the tape, plus a tiny bit of the binder that holds the oxide to the backing of the tape. This stuff is like glue. So the more binder and oxide that gets on the heads and the guides and the capstans and the pinch rollers, the more will be attracted. So it's important to keep these parts clean. Not keeping them clean will first of all cause a big deterioration in audio quality because your heads are going to get gunked up and you're not going to have proper tape head contact. Also, if they're really dirty, they can cause the machines to eat tapes. We're going to talk primarily about cassettes in this video, but the principles herein apply to all formats of analog audio tape, from multi-track open reel to 8 tracks to broadcast cartridges, mini and micro cassettes. Whatever you got, this is the best way to do it. Let's talk a little bit about what you'll need. Good old isopropyl alcohol is a great cleaning agent. Find 91% if you can. If you're really crazy about it, you can order pure isopropyl alcohol, which is called isopropyl anhydrous. But 91% works fine. If you go to the drugstore and you find 70%, you can use that as well. Just remember, it's not going to be as potent as 91% or pure isopropyl, and you're going to have to clean a little bit longer. Also, that 30% in there is water, so make sure that you don't get a whole lot of it in your machine, number one, and number two, that you wait until the machine is completely dry before you put another tape in, because the water will mess up your tape and also cause more of that binder and oxide to come off as it goes past the heads. Cotton swabs, good old Q-tips, work just fine for cleaning the heads on a tape recorder. You can get special cleaning sticks, but it's a waste of money. And the demagnetizer we'll talk about a little bit later on. So let's get started. To show you how to do this, I'm going to do it on my CTR51 machine. Pop it open, take a look at the head stack there. Put the tape recorder in play. If it's an old manual machine like this, no big deal at all. If it's a solenoid-driven later model machine, this might be a little bit difficult. You may have to reach in and push a little tab to fool the machine into thinking there's a cassette in it. Really good high-end machines, if you press play and hold play, they will let you clean the heads. But some machines give you a hard time. Best way to get started: dip your cotton swab in your alcohol, shake it off to get rid of the excess, and start on your playback record head. Now, the reason why I do that one first is real simple. If you're cleaning your pinch roller and you get your swab all dirty, you're going to be redepositing that stuff back on your playback and record head. And that's the most important head in the machine, so clean that one first. Move over to your erase head. Use a side-to-side motion. Go all over the head. Do not use a whole bunch of pressure. You just want enough pressure to make sure that you're getting a good contact with the head. Too much pressure, you'll knock it out of alignment. Too little pressure, and you're not doing the job. So just somewhere nice, about as hard as you would push on your teeth with a toothpick, is a good rule of thumb. Now, after you have the heads clean, you can work on the guides. Some machines have guides that are built right into the heads. like in the Radio Shack deck here. Some of them have extra guides. This one has an auto stop lever. You want to make sure you clean that. Now come over and clean your pinch roller. If you can, the best way to do this is have the machine running. Place your cotton swab on the side of the pinch roller and just let it ride over the top of it with just a little bit of pressure. Now, if the machine is particularly dirty, you may have to do this for a while. Do it until the swab comes back clean. You might even have to go through 2 or 3 swabs if the machine is really filthy. Do it until you no longer see any black on the swab when you pull it away. After you've cleaned the pinch roller, place the machine in pause with the motor running and clean the capstan. Be very careful not to get the swab too far down toward the works of the machine. Sometimes it'll grab one of those fibers and try and wrap it around the capstan. So be aware of that. You just want to clean where the tape actually contacts the capstan and the pinch roller. Now that you have the machine clean, let it sit for about 5 minutes and dry before you put a tape in the machine. Your heads are clean. That's all you need to do. Now let's talk about demagnetizing. Finding a good demagnetizer is a little bit difficult these days. Sometimes they pop up used on eBay, but I found one from a electronics supply house for less than $10. And it's a pretty good one too. This one is powerful enough to do all kinds of tape recorders plus video recorders. The proper way to use a demagnetizer is very slowly. You do not want to make any quick movements with the demagnetizer. Set it to the side of the machine at least 2 feet away. Plug it in, energize it. Move it very slowly toward the machine. Make sure that the power is off to the tape deck. No power at all. This is going to send a very strong magnetic signal into the heads, and if the power is on, you may blow up your amplifier. Make sure it's completely off. Move the demagnetizer toward the playback head very slowly. Touch the playback head dead center with the demagnetizer. Hold it there for about 10 seconds. Very carefully pull it away. Now move over to the erase head. Do the same thing. Very carefully and very slowly pull it away. Now move into your capstan and any other metal parts in the machine. Hold the demagnetizer on the capstan for about 10 to 15 seconds and slowly move it away. When you're completely done, bring the demagnetizer back very slowly until it's very far away from the machine. Then unplug the demagnetizer. Doing anything quickly with a demagnetizer, or if the demagnetizer loses power while it's in contact with the tape heads, can cause a permanent magnetic field on your tape heads, and you don't want that to happen. The reason for demagnetizing? Basically, it's to make sure that the heads themselves are magnetically neutral, that there is no magnetic charge on the heads of any kind. Now, it can pick up a magnetic charge by sitting next to a high-powered speaker or just running tapes. Demagnetizing heads is slightly controversial. Some people say you don't need to do it at all. Other people say you need to do it every 10 or 15 hours. I say you need to do it whenever you get a used machine that you have no clue where it's been. You want to make sure those heads are well demagnetized before you put any of your tapes in it. I have seen machines that have picked up a magnetic charge and partially erased tapes. Not in the cassette format, but I've seen it happen with broadcast cart machines and some broadcast open reel tape recorders. It's very rare, but it does happen. So I would recommend demagnetizing your machine maybe once every 6 months. Or whenever you get a new machine, make sure that you demagnetize it before you put any tape in it that has a recording you want to keep. For machines where you insert the cassette in a slot, such as in a car or some portable machines, and the heads are inaccessible with a Q-tip, I recommend getting a head cleaning cassette. About once a year, you can take the machine completely apart and really give it a good scrubbing, but a head cleaning cassette will do fine for regular maintenance. Believe it or not, in 2009, Radio Shack still carries head cleaning cassettes. JC Bad Edit Pro waving bye-bye. Thanks for watching.